You
So
know,
a support structure.
definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. A support structure, and also within the support structure, be able to be open, transparent. You know, the support structure must be allowing to your transparency of, I don't feel good today.
Yeah.
Or I feel like this today. And
Yeah.
not make you feel bad for feeling a certain kind of way, you know. Be
Right.
able
Right.
to support where you're going to be able to be transparent with, and you're able to share and talk about this person, you know. And also a support structure who's going to be authentic towards you, you know.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and quite direct with you, you know.
Sure.
Within grieving
Mm-hmm.
and acknowledging this loss, if you are surrounded by the right support structure, they will not
Right.
easily allow you to lose yourself within the grief.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Because within this grief, you still have to be functional.
Yep.
So
That's right.
if you then lose yourself within it, then it becomes complicated, then it becomes very toxic to a point where you might even need psychiatric assistance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this support structure must be open enough to allow you to be transparent, allow you to feel the way that you are feeling, but it mustn't be a pity party, you know. It mustn't be that we all suck each other, you know, and there's no one who's actually going to be able to say, yes, we've lost a loved one. Yes,
Yeah.
things won't be the same, but this person would have wanted to see us actually succeed within life and actually carry on and live and be happy, you know?
Yeah. 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 Sure. You've covered a whole lot. There's a whole lot to digest within everything that you shared with us. Thank you so much for your insight. And now to everybody, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to ask Odwa and myself a question. I'm giving 2 questions to each person. So all you have to do is on the chat, raise your hand and indicate that you'd like to ask a question, and I will request that you unmute your mic and go for it. Any questions? Miss Ludidi. Oh, okay, that wasn't a hand. Sorry. Any questions, guys? Okay. So I think that's where we will hold it. Odwa, thank you so much for being available. Thank you so much for opening your heart and mind to this conversation and for pouring out from your experiences as well. It is a huge tragedy that, you know, when you're going through a loss. I've just gotten a question that has just come through from Beatrice. Let me just see what she says. Beatrice is asking, can you perhaps tell us a little more about secondary grief?
Secondary grief.
Secondary grief. I suppose we touched on that a little bit, where you had mentioned that it's not your personal loss, but somebody else's loss that you relate with, perhaps? Thank you, Colleen. Thank you for joining. Sorry, Colleen just left us.
Okay, all right. Okay, so when it comes to secondary grief, Yes, secondary grief could be in the context of, as you said, Babs, a relative or your mother loses someone, but because your mom is going through this grieving process, and you are in line with your mom emotionally, this person means a lot to you, and you are seeing this person going through this difficulty of accepting this loss, to a point where their feelings are also your feelings, and you are saddened as well for the loss of this person.
Yeah, sure. Then the second question just came in from Ms. Noxolo Ludidi. She's asking, when do you as a loved one know it's too long and too unhealthy for your loved one to be grieving? So when do you, as a partner or as a friend, see that?
I love that question, because why? There's not a straight answer for that question. There's no time frame towards grieving for someone. Hey, absolutely no time frame. And also it also goes hand in hand with what it is that we said. Your attachment to the loss of whatever it is also plays a part within how long, but when it comes complicated to a point where now it's too long, it means that it has surpassed 2 years. It has surpassed 2 years that is still grieving and still tearful regarding the loss of someone, and it has compromised within their functioning, meaning that this person is unable to function the way they used to before. They have difficulties with going to work, they can't finish the whole day at work, or they still have difficulties with engaging with people or having pleasurable things within life. There's no sense of satisfaction or just enjoyment of anything, meaning that this person is merely existing and not living, right? So there's that element. So no one could ever tell you that, sure, it's been 5 years or 6 years that you've been grieving for someone. There's no time frame. Can be grieving for, but if 2 years surpass someone not being functional in whatever way they used to be previously, then it's an open door to actually seek help.
Okay. I like it because Helen Jack, who just recently exited the group real quick, said that grief does not have an expiry date. Everyone grieves differently. And I think that resonates with what you've just said, Audra.
Definitely. No expiry date at all.
Yeah. Okay, we've got one more question. Mamuela from Limpopo comes in and she says, thank you ladies for the information. What advice would you give someone who is grieving and is far from their support system?
Sure. When you're grieving and you're very far from your support system, I think right now we live, for example, we're doing a Zoom call, right? A Zoom call, you can call, you can, but if those avenues of technology are not there, you can journal. Write down what's going in the now. How do I feel in the now? Where do I feel the pain? Is it within my chest, my stomach? Can I not breathe by just talking about or thinking about this person? What makes it difficult for me to be? Because tomorrow, after you've written and you poured your heart out writing, or poured your heart out by sending yourself a voice note, or whatever it is that is freeing towards you, when you come back to it and you say, yesterday I felt like this, and today it's better, or I feel like this, just to kind of remind yourself that I was here before, but now I'm here,
Yeah.
and and have those things of just constantly acknowledge, try not to run away from feeling a certain kind of way. And if you can't call anyone, and sometimes you don't even have the strength within you to even talk to anyone, and you just want to cry it out. And sometimes you just silence, and then you just get that whole thing of, Lord, you know my heart, I have nothing to say, but you know how it is that I feel, and I just have no words, so it depends on you. Sometimes your strength does not come within people. Sometimes your strength comes within your spirituality, sometimes your strength comes in within writing. Sometimes your strength comes within singing, there are hymns or songs you will sing, or songs that you used to sing with a certain person, and the more you sing it, the more you cry. And I think it goes back to what it is that you are saying, purging out what it is that is, what is unsaid, what you don't speak through the mouth, will talk through your psyche or your body. Sometimes we get sick because of unspoken words, right? And these unspoken words express themselves through what? Our physical self. You're tired, you can't do anything because there's so much within here that's being unsaid, or there's so much going on that is not let out. So you need to find a way of letting out whatever feeling that is within inside, because unspoken words make you sick. Harboring things within will make you sick, and that's when we have those anxiety, those panic attacks, those choking feelings, those hyperventilation, because you are left with unspoken words. Because I think
yes, which translates to word is medicine, or the spoken word is medicinal. Definitely. I love that you touched on that. Thank you so much. Because the next point that I wanted us to veer off to, in the case that nobody else has any more questions, is the articles that we'll be writing in the month of March, which is focusing on my anchor. So those things that get you up and out of that place of darkness that you find yourself in when in the grieving process, those things that allow for you to go through that purging process. What is it? We'll be talking a little bit more about that on the Facebook page and on the Instagram pages. And for everybody that joined us a little bit late, thank you for coming on board. We appreciate your presence, and I'm very sorry for all the technical difficulties, but this recording will be made available on our Facebook page as well as on our website. So don't worry, you haven't missed out on anything. Odwa, thank you very much for everything. Thank you for the insight. Thank you for the encouraging words, because I found the way that you delivered was extremely encouraging. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Buzz. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to say my 2 cents. Thank you for everyone who actually participated and came and listened.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody. I echo that. All right, everyone, we're going to call it. Thank you again, and have a lovely and blessed evening. Let's heal all together, one step at a time and one conversation at a time. Bye.
Bye.